first duel, and I'm not exactly thrilled with what I'm seeing. I am going second, which is good, but I don't have a starter in my hand, and I don't have any way to get it at this point, except I hard draw it. So I need the heart of the cards to give me something in the next turn, or I'm probably going to lose. But I do have some tools that I can use, like Gameciel, who can, of course, get rid of a problematic boss monster. I really wish one of these Ancient Warrior Saga cards was a starter, but if I do draw a starter, then this is going to be extremely useful. And Forbidden Droplet, which is a good addition to the deck. And let's see if I get to use it. So my opponent is playing Code Talkers, a deck I'm not too familiar with, but I do know that they link summon like crazy, and right about now, I really wish I had a Maxi in my hand. Maybe replace one of these Saga cards for a Maxi so I can draw a million cards and try to get something to help me out in this situation. But my opponent is going to be building his board. Code Talkers start off pretty weak, like with these small little guys. But they can make some pretty scary boards, especially if they are uninterrupted, like they are right now, because I don't have anything to respond with. Transcode Talker, a very popular card. I see him a lot in many other decks. Basically, here is what most people care about. You can target one Link 3 or lower Cybers Link monster to special summon it. And then, from what I see, he usually goes into like a Link 4 or something. But here, since he's playing Code Talkers and there's going to be a lot of Link monsters pointing to each other, this first effect is also relevant. While this card is co-linked, it and its co-linked monsters gain 500 attack, and your opponent cannot target any of them with card effects. So immediately I'm thinking maybe this is a pretty juicy Gameciel target, but using Gameciel, you have to be very selective. There's only one choice, and try to find the weakest part of the board and use it. So let's see what he's going to do. He's going to special summon something. Yep, there we go. And there's Dotscaper. Dotscaper is a very useful card for most Cybers decks. Yeah, if he's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon him, so he's basically a free body. And my opponent's going to be continuing to play with himself, playing Solitaire, and trying to build up his board as best as he can. There's another card that's going to special summon itself, and then he has a ton of monsters on board, and let's see what he goes into. Code Talker. Let's see what this one does. It looks like it has to do with battle damage, but I really don't think he cares about this one. He's probably going to something better. There's a backup secretary, which can special summon herself. Yep. And let's see what she goes into. Firewall Dragon. Now, this is actually the first time I've seen Firewall Dragon in Master Duel. And this is the, thankfully, severely nerfed version of Firewall Dragon. Before, it used to be way better, but they fixed it because it was way too good. So this is what I'm really worried about. So at first, I was kind of worried about the Transcode Talker because of this part cannot target any of them with card effects and gets more attack power. But I'm definitely scared of the Firewall Dragon, and Gameciel is probably going to be the best choice for him because this is a quick effect ability. You can target monsters on the field and or graveyard up to the number of monsters co-linked to this card. So those are going to be the cards that are pointed to Firewall Dragon. And you'll see later on in the video, he's going to summon something right here on the right, something on the left. And of course, there's Transcode Talker here on the top. So he can potentially bounce up to 3 of my cards back to my hand, and I'm probably going to lose. And I'm immediately thinking that Firewall Dragon is the one. It's the chosen one. He is going to get the turtle, and he is going to like it. So, Firewall Dragon's on the board right now, but he won't be for much longer. Splash Mage is a really good card. He's going to be special summoning something with Splash Mage. He can special something from defense position in the graveyard. So he's going to be getting more and more cards. He's going to try to extra link to make Firewall Dragon even more effective. Code Talker, another pretty important combo piece for Code Talkers. It actually has a pretty interesting effect, the first one. Not something you see too often. So basically, when it's link summoned, you can choose an unused main monster zone equal to the number of monsters currently in the extra monster zone. So right now, there's only one card in the extra monster zone, but if my opponent really popped off and got something here on the right, then he could choose 2 places on my board to basically make them unusable. I won't be able to put any cards on that spot. So that's a pretty unusual effect. You don't see that too often. But if you look up Ojama King and Ojama Knight, those 2 beautiful cards, then they do something kind of similar. But Xcode Talker also does that. And here's something I'm also kind of worried about in the next part. Monsters this card points to gain 500 attack, and they cannot be destroyed by card effects. So basically, he's buffing up Firewall Dragon to be this unbeatable, unkillable monster. But he's going to get the turtle soon, so let's see what happens then. Yeah, so he's going to summon 1 more card here on the left. So he's going to make this part unusable. And that would be kind of annoying for some decks, but my deck doesn't really care about that. I don't really swarm too very well. And Talkback Lancer, but he doesn't care about that. He's going to get something on the left, yeah. So, he's going to get this Flame Administrator. Haven't seen this card, but basically it makes his cards more powerful. 800 attack, which is nothing to laugh at. That's pretty potent. So, let's see what I got. Please, Heart of the Cards. Okay. Heart of the Cards, guide me. Pot of Extravagance. There's no Ash Blossom. I don't think there's any negates that can stop Pot of Extravagance. So I'm praying. I'm praying to all the Yu-Gi-Oh gods for a starter, because I need it right now. But I'm going to first activate Pot of Extravagance, and then give him the Dong, give him the Turtle, and get rid of the Firewall Dragon. So, what do I get? Pot of Extravagance first. Get rid of 6 cards, and I'm praying, and finally, thank goodness, I get something. Liu Xuan. The card I don't like as much as his much better starter, which is Xuan Mo. But Liu Xuan is pretty good in this situation because Liu Xuan, if my opponent controls more cards than I do, then I can discard a card from my hand or the field to special summon an Ancient Warrior. And unfortunately, this doesn't really come up too often for me, but in this situation, it might be able to. So let's see what happens. I finally get a starter. I'm going to put down the Ancient Warrior Saga first. Yep. And then the Saga, right? The Saga is going to activate. I'm going to grab another card to the hand. I already have Zhangde, which is good. So let's see what I get. I think I'm going to get Lu Feng, yes. So Lu Feng is going to special summon himself. There we go. Now, I would like to use Lu Feng's ability to destroy one of these cards. And I was thinking about destroying the Xcode Talker or the Transcode Talker because they both have the same attack. And Lu Feng destroys 1 card on my opponent's field with the highest attack. And if it's tied, I can choose. And I choose you, Transcode Talker. But my opponent had an interesting card set face down. And basically, this card, Signet Backdoor, you can target 1 Cyberse monster you control, banish it, and then add another card. So he's going to get rid of my target for my destruction. So Lu Feng is not going to be able to do anything about that. But the important thing is that the Transcode Talker is not going to be on the board. So that's 1 more piece of the puzzle solved. Now I still need to worry about the Xcode Talker mostly, because Flame Administrator doesn't do anything. Xcode Talker, so he has basically a super strong game seal. Yeah. And, okay, so this is one of the things that kind of disappointed me. So, because my opponent now controls the same number of cards as I do, then I cannot use Liu Xuan's ability because it needs to be more than me. And the reason this happened is because after he used the Signet Backdoor, it got rid of the Transcode Talker. And from the chain, the chains work backward in Yu-Gi-Oh! So after Transcode Talker left, there's nothing left on the board except for the Xcode Talker. and that has the highest attack on the field, so Lu Feng will destroy it. And now the boards are equalized. So now I can't use Liu Xuan's effect, which disappointed me greatly. But I can still use Zhang De's effect because I have 2 Ancient Warrior cards. I can special summon him. And now I'm going to get rid of some of his board. Get rid of the Gamma Seal. Goodbye. Get rid of the Flame Administrator. And then attack with Liu Xuan. And here's one more thing that's kind of disappointing to me, at least. I'm not sure if I'm not reading something correctly, but Liu Xuan, when an attack is declared involving another Ancient Warrior card, you can draw 1 card. But if you see the replay, I did not draw 1 card, even though I had 2 Ancient Warriors on my board. So I'm not sure. Oh, I know. It's because of Pot of Extravagance. Never mind. There you go, folks. Live commentary. I'm learning something new with you. So Pot of Extravagance, I guess this is something that most people don't look at, including me. For the rest of the turn after this card resolves, you cannot draw any cards by card effect. Ah, I'm learning too. I'm learning how to play Yu-Gi-Oh too. That was a totally live reaction, and I'm kind of shocked. I realized that. During the duel, I was really confused about that. Why isn't Liu Xuan activating? Is this a bug? But it's actually because of Pot of Extravagance. So we can learn something new together. So now, after I had the Zhang De and the Liu Xuan on the board, I link summoned into Ancient Warrior's Oath, Double Dragon Lord, an incredible card for the deck. I wanted to basically make my board as strong as possible. And now I have an extremely powerful board. I think this is definitely one of the stronger boards this deck can make. I have a quick effect Return to the Hand with Double Dragon Lord, a quick effect Pop, and a Spell and Trap Negate. So let's see if my opponent can do anything about this. So the Transcode Talker comes back because of Signet Backdoor. It only banishes for like 1 turn. So the Transcode Talker is going to activate itself again. You can target 1 level 3 or lower Cyber Slink monster. So I'm going to use Lu Feng's effect to not negate it, but to destroy the Transcode Talker, because Transcode Talker is Link 3, level 3. And if he summons something else, he's going to put it right here or something, right here. And he's probably going to go into a Link 4, probably Access Code Talker. And I definitely don't want to deal with that, so I'm going to destroy it immediately and leave him without Link skills. There we go. Now, the swan song, the last breath. Signet Mining. But unfortunately for him, I have YUGIOH, which is going to negate it. So, rest in peace, my friend. It was a valiant effort. But yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with how this board came out. Yep, and then my opponent surrendered after that. It's a really nice board here, but it's really difficult to achieve. Usually, my opponent has something to stop this, but due to the wonderful turtle, the Gamma Seal, I was able to get rid of Firewall Dragon, which was a big piece of the puzzle, for my opponent at least. And that's how you break a very intimidating board. So, hope you guys enjoyed.